All right, what up, everyone? We're live. It's the NFL Fantasy Today show. I'm your host, Jon Mosales. It's week 5, so it's bye week, Papapalooza, plus, the injuries are just crazy. It's like every hour. Jason, how's your team doing?
I've got couple good teams, a couple not so good teams, and one team in the middle. So
I'm at the team on your shirt.
Oh, hey, we're still 3-1.
Okay, Brian, what's cooking? How's the model going so far?
It's pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of injury stuff that we're obviously going to hit. Bye weeks making things a little more interesting, which means we just have to go a little deeper, which, in my opinion, is where you kind of separate the men from the boys in fantasy. Is how do you react to when you need to go deeper in your bench?
Okay, or just panic because half your team's on a bye. And what do you guys do? We'll get into everything, but will you just take the L? Or do you maybe try and shoot for the moon, make a trade, like sacrifice on the long term for short term?
It depends. I mean, this situation, not only just with buys, but like all the significant injuries in fantasy, you got to dig a little deeper at this point. You got to get crafty with IR and all that, little stashes, and then just dig deep in the waiver wire and just hope something sticks.
Okay. Brian?
It depends where you're at. If you're 3-1, 4-0, then I'm always going to put up at least somebody playing at each position. I just might not give up a lot unless I have one team that's just, it's like a draft I don't care about. So I just went all Eagles. So I have people to root for.
I feel like you do that in most drafts. So
not most, I get Hurts in a lot cause I trust him, but yeah. I have like everybody on including their defense kicker, it's a little too much. But I'm 3-1 in that league, and I expect on their bye week that I'm just losing. So
you're 3. How are you 3-1 with AJ and Devontae? So I guess you got Goddard, who's been putting up stats because Saquon's not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, Goddard, I have Hurts, I have Eagles defense. I'm getting a little lucky with the people I'm playing, but I don't know. They're not terrible.
Oh, sorry.
I was just saying it's a safe team.
It is a safe team. It's always my favorite game since you always told me that, buddy, who always drafts the Bills. I just always think what if you go all on a team? So what are the teams that if you had gone all in, you'd be doing the best with, right? Detroit, if you had Amon-Ra, Gibbs, which would be tough to get both, Goff.
I'm trying to think of the other. Because there haven't,
if healthy, the Bengals.
Okay, but they're not healthy.
Yeah, if healthy, it was definitely the Bengals. But.
The issue is a lot of people got hurt.
Yeah, Falcons, you get Bijan, but then Penix and Drake haven't been good, right? So, the Jacksonville, but I guess the wide receivers have sucked. You need Brian Thomas Jr. Chargers, if you got a few of their wide receivers in Hampton, that'd be nice.
Yeah, if you went all in on Chargers, you probably didn't spend much because you got Quentin, Hampton, and Herbert. So you probably also have studs at the top of your draft, from the top of your draft. So that could be my guess is if somebody went Chargers heavy, they're probably doing very well because they also got studs on top. You're maybe Ravens because Zay Flowers and Lamar was doing fine before he got injured, but he also got injured. Derrick Henry's fine. He's not great, but he's not. He won you a week in 1 week, so.
Yeah, and he scored in the other. Okay. So, yeah, we got a lot to cover. We're going to cover Thursday Night Football. We're going to cover the injuries, which also coalesces with Thursday Night Football. We'll preview the slate, and then hopefully, you guys hit us with some questions, some start sits, some trades, because we love that stuff. So, Jason, we'll just bounce back and forth because there's so many injuries. We'll start with your team. What's going on? Are they going to fire the training staff? Because this is the second year in a row, and it just feels kind of unprecedented.
How much time do you have so we can talk about these Niners injuries to start with?
I'm not going to give you that much.
No, it's bad. It's not just the second time in 2 years either. This is a very constant thing that's happened under Kyle Shanahan. This isn't anything really sadly new. It just feels like it is, but it's not. So for tonight, it's a laundry list of guys missing. Like I said, this is George Kittle's last game he's forced to miss due to short-term IR. So he's eligible to come off after this week and could be back for week 6. But Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, Jawan Jennings all out due to various injuries. Brock kind of re-aggravated the toe injury, so Mac Jones starts tonight. I guess on the positive side for the Niners, Kendrick Bourne is still available, and DeMarcus Robinson is back from suspension. This will be game 2 for him, so they'll get the starting nods most likely. Although I will say Bourne was not very good on Sunday. He had a couple of really bad drops, including a one that was just wide ass open that could have been, a 20 to 25-yard explosive play that really hurt.
Okay, I mean, what are the odds that the only player who'd stay healthy is CMC, who is the player everyone was worried about going into the season? Are they going to overburden him and like possibly risk him getting hurt? Because they're like 9-point dogs. Or do you think maybe they just try first half, and if they're down multiple scores, kind of put in Brian Robinson Jr.?
I would hope they don't overburden CMC, but I'm also mentally prepared for them to overburden CMC because guess who's leading the league in touches right now on offense out of the non-quarterback position? It's CMC. I actually have a Brian Robinson prop bet tonight, though. I think they actually really need to use him. He's been productive. He has some decent carries. He gets positive yardage. They need to use him tonight.
Okay. And then Brian, I saw something CMC's like 6th in just receptions or 7th in yards just for all positions. So he's giving you like elite wide receiver 1, but he doesn't have a rushing touchdown. So that's kind of, he's not giving you the total dual threat. Where do you get CMC in the projection model this week? Is he super high because the usage is going to be crazy?
He's 8.
Okay.
I think they just aren't projected that many points. So sure, he's going to be super usage heavy, but if you don't score, you're not like you score to get high up there. CMC is the one guy who maybe I'd trust to get 20 points without scoring, but it's hard to do and it's hard to predict.
Okay. So Jason, what do we do if you got Niners? Because I think we all like Ricky preseason. I didn't really get him anywhere, but I got some Joan Jennings. I got George Kittle. Like, is it just year from hell? And you think just panic, or you think in 3 weeks from now everyone's healthy and they're rolling because they keep winning games?
I think for a few weeks from now, everybody will be healthy. These are, very minor injuries, and a few extra days here and there should be okay. Again, they have a favorable schedule. They still get to play teams like the Titans, who have bad defense. They still get to play the. Unfortunately, their game against the Saints already happened, but they still get the Panthers. The Falcons, who have been a little shaky defensively as well. So I actually still feel okay about the Niners. I'm not ready to panic just yet. In terms of how they are as a team and from a fantasy perspective, but I wouldn't be the only part of their team I would be super out on right now is their defense, and I would just, if you have them, drop them.
Okay, because their defense has been weird, right? They have what 4 or 5 sacks all season. They didn't get to Trevor Lawrence once, but then they're holding the wide receivers to really good. They're really good on third down. So I guess is it just a classic bend don't break?
It's a little bit of that, but now that Nick Bosa's out, it changes everything about the complexity of their defense. He commands so much attention up front, and if you watch what happened without him on Sunday, against the Jaguars, they had no pass rush, they had no push, they didn't have a single quarterback hit, let alone a sack. And now again, you take out Nick Bosa, who has a very high double and triple team rate, like. I think his triple team rate a couple years ago was like 33%. Now you can just defend, you can just protect against the Niners straight up. Like there's nobody on that defensive line who's going to command a double team at this point.
Okay, yeah, let's say Blitz Warner or something. Brian, so what do you do with the game like this where everyone's hurt? How do you break up the target shares in your model? Right, we got Demarcus Robinson, JC mentioned Kendrick Bourne. Their tight end is Jake Tongs or something. He's got 2 touchdowns. Is there anyone you'd start in this game, Brian? Even though Jason, I know this is your specialty.
I mean, the tight end, I think Tongus or whatever his name is. I don't think that's a terrible start. I'm not happy about starting anyone, but like in a deep league, I'm debating between Demarcus Robinson and I think another like Justice Hill type, where it's a deep league. I'm injured. I have people on bye, so like I just need people. I don't think it's the worst option, but like for projecting it out, it's just like a lot of these people just aren't used to getting playing time, so it's kind of spread it evenly and hope for the best. I'm not gonna plant my flag that Demarcus Robinson's getting a 25% target share if it could be Kendrick Bourne, who I don't think he's great, but if he's kind of been the only one getting playing time recently, so just kind of spread it across. CMC is going to get his bit. I mean, I have an underrated prop of Juice, Kyle Juszczyk getting 2+ receptions. That's pretty much just even money. So like stuff like that where people who they trust, and I'm pretty sure Shanahan trusts Juszczyk, so it's like that would be a guy that will at least probably get some work.
Okay, and then what Mac Jones? Because last week you said you had the San Francisco QB as a top 5 option. Is he there this week? Because it's negative game script, but the Rams are pretty solid defensively.
No, it's just last week they were projected a good amount over 24 or 20 points in the game, and I'm trying to just looking off my data. I'm trying to see what they're projected this week. They're 18 points. They're projected, so it's just like they're not projected a lot of points, so QB's not going to score much.
Okay,
that's kind of the simplest way to put it.
Okay, Jason, we'll circle back to some Niners stuff because we just want to focus on team. There's other running back injuries. Seems like the running backs are down. So let's talk Bucky Irving, right? He's not ruled out, but he's in crutches, foot sprain. He's getting second opinions. You know, as Bucky enthusiasts, like, is it good, bad, or are we terrified?
I would say for at least this week, I'm sitting him in every league. I have him in a couple. I'm sitting him in both. I would not be optimistic about him playing. I don't know the severity of the foot sprain. There hasn't been like any specific details given on that. But yeah, him being in a walking boot and crutches isn't entirely encouraging. But they're going to need him, you know, for the next couple of weeks. They play back-to-back NFC West opponents. They got the Seahawks at home, are on the road this weekend, and they are home for the Niners next. Those obviously aren't easy games by any stretch, and the Niners should be a little healthier, so they may need Bucky. The good news for them is they have Rashad White, who, you know, he got some featured duty a couple weeks ago against the Texans and played great. He looked kind of like Rashad White that was a league winner back in 2023.
Okay, sorry, I just had to answer text. So Rashad White must start? Brian, would you have him must start? Jason, like, because, you know, he's more of a passing down back. They got Sean Tucker. They got Wirfs back. So they should, you know, would we start White over other starting running backs?
I think he's a must start. I mean, if you're a 12-team league, then yeah, he's a must start. At least 2 running backs. I have him at like running back 17. I just think he's going to be a pretty simple RB2. So middle of the pack there, just based on volume. I don't think like he might be even with carries with Sean Tucker, but he's going to get all the pass game work, and they've even trusted him at the goal line with Bucky healthy sometimes. So I just think he's going to get the valuable touches in that offense, and we've seen they can put up numbers. So I'm trusting that start.
Okay. So Jace, Bucks play at 4. So what if what if Bucky's questionable at noon, and then they're going to make a decision before game time? What would you do? Would you just sit him and like they'll probably rule him out?
I would sit him. I have this feeling he's going to be one of those guys, you know, who Schefter and Ian Rapport tweets out of those players not expected to play by like Friday or Saturday.
But I'm talking worst case scenario.
Yeah, but I'm saying even worst case scenario, I would sit him this week. I wouldn't bank on him being healthy unless you still have Rashad White as his handcuff. Then you have that flexibility for him.
That would be nice. Okay, and then also Brian's favorite guy, Trey Benson, had like one game, not even a full game because he looks like he got hurt. DeMarcado came in late Thursday.
Yeah.
But also they got the other guy. What's his name? Jonathan
Carter, former Jet legend, Michael Carter.
There you go.
Yeah, and they, you know, Michael Carter may have hinted he may be getting the starting duties. So there was a lot of scramble yesterday to pick up. Do I pick up DeMarcado or I pick up Michael Carter? As somebody who has a lot of Cardinal fan friends, they're more Team Carter than they are DeMarcado in this case. And you know what? Both have a favorable matchup against Titans this weekend.
Okay, so Brian, what do you do with those two? Because DeMarcado looked pretty good. He scored that touchdown to tie up Seattle last week. He's obviously good in the passing game. But, you know, if you had to pick up one of them, who would you pick and who would you start?
I would do DeMarcado. I just don't.
Easy?
Yeah, pretty easy. I honestly view that pretty similar to the Tampa backfield, where Carter's going to be the early down, and I think DeMarcado is just going to get the more valuable touches. So, yeah, their carries might be about even, but passing work and potential goal line, I think, will be DeMarcado.
Okay. Jason, what else we got? I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's a bunch.
Unfortunately, the last running back injury I can give you is a bye week injury with Jalen Warren. Didn't play on Sunday, obviously, with his knee. Kenneth Gainwell had a monster game, but Steelers are on a bye this week, so it's not entirely relevant just yet for the running back position.
Yeah, I picked up Gainwell in the morning as soon as I saw it, but I didn't play him. That's too bad. But I guess we're bearing the lead. Lamar Jackson hurt, right? Like that's That's catastrophic, right? If you went Lamar early, because I think, Jason, you love going Lamar early, right? Just the idea of it.
I did in multiple leagues in this one, Dynasty and our Superflex league. So those are the only two I had him in though. So yeah, major injury for sure. He's had a hamstring strain, expected to miss around 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, that's tough sledding for a lot of people.
So it's backup QB Palooza. Where do Cooper Rush? Does anyone have any opinions on him? He was okay with Dallas, but with that Baltimore defense being so bad, maybe they got to pass to catch up, or do you think they revert to now Derrick Henry 30 carries?
I think Henry.
Yeah.
I just don't. He's a game manager. Think Alex Smith. Like, he's not fun for fantasy. He gets what's given to him.
Yeah. He's there to not make mistakes.
Sure, but in terms of the backup QBs, if we got Carson Wentz, we got Mac Jones, we got Jake Browning, someone else I'm forgetting. Where's Cooper Rush in that? I'd probably put him second below Wentz just because of that Minnesota offense. They're playing Cleveland.
I'd put him third right now because Mac Jones has been solid for the Niners.
He's got no weapons.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, he could still probably do enough to just be serviceable tonight. I would say, yeah, Wentz, Jones, Rush for me.
If it makes you feel, I have Browning at 23 this week, Cooper Rush at QB 24, Mac Jones at QB 25, Carson Wentz right under him at QB 26, and then I have Dylan Gabriel at QB 28.
Wow, Dylan Gabriel, not the worst. Oh, I guess there are only 28, so
that is the worst.
Okay, cool. Okay, Jace, what else we got?
Do you want to talk about the receiver position now?
Okay, let's do it.
So yeah, Terry McLaurin still dealing with the quad injury, ruled out. Obviously, we already covered Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings. We had the two very catastrophic knee injuries on Sunday and Monday with Malik Neighbors and Tyreek Hill. Both their seasons are over. Cedric Tillman of the Browns suffered a hamstring injury Sunday against the Lions, and he's already been ruled out for the Europe game this weekend. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on there. And I did actually forget one about the running back position that I do need to go back to, and it's Chuba Hubbard. He's dealing with a calf injury, DNP second day in a row now, so he may not play.
And I think Rico Dowdle is top 5, top 3 competent backup running back. We saw him finish the season really good with Dallas. Where would you have Dowdle if Dowdle starts, like versus Sharp? Like, let's say Ken Walker was out, James Cook was out, right? So let's say it's Rico Dowdle versus Sharps versus Ray Davis.
I'd do Ray Davis first just because of the offense, then probably Rico. Rico and Sharps pretty similar. Just I like Rico better, but I think Sharps is on better offense.
Okay. Yeah, it's so okay. The rookie running backs have all stayed healthy, I guess, eh?
For now.
That just seems weird. Okay, so wide receiver, anyone we missed, right? I think we covered Tyreek last week.
Oh, Tyreek happened a couple days ago, so it couldn't have been covered last week.
Oh, was it? Was it mine? Oh, yeah. Right. On my Tuesday pod.
Yeah, probably covered it Tuesday, but yeah, him and Neighbors, back-to-back days of just season-ending knee injuries. So obviously neither of them will be returning this year, so that's tough. Yeah.
So who do we like as the guys to step up, right? Jalen Waddle, I think, tied the rookie reception record as a rookie, but hasn't done much. But he's got the talent. Wan'Dale Robinson's been good. Darius Slayton's old, but he's always kind of stepped up when he's given a role.
Sneaky good when he gets a role. I love Darius Slayton. And I like him now with Dart. Now that Russell's not throwing him hospital balls, I like seeing, what, he and Dart can do together. And, I have a sneaky suspicion they've actually probably got some practice time together this year too, with Slayton not being a top receiver guy or not being, top 2 or 3 on the depth chart, and him getting some reps with Dart.
Okay, yeah, that's a nice little nugget. Okay. But Brian, you got anything?
I think I like Slayton the most. I just think he
over Waddle,
or not over Waddle's. Yeah, the number one, but like of the people that you're going to pick up,
okay,
would be Slayton. Waddle's the top guy. I think Malik Washington's a good guy to look at. Just I don't know if I'm starting him this week, but if you can get him on your bench just in case, by all means. Darren Waller might come back from the dead and be a valuable tight end. Tight ends kind of suck, so it's an option, especially with Tyreek going out. I think A-Chain. I might think Ollie Gordon might actually benefit because A-Chain might be a little bit more involved in pass game work, and then Ollie Gordon can kind of spell him on rushing. So I do think that's like a low-key person who kind of won out from that injury. But I think Slayton out of the wide receivers that you would pick up, he's the best shot. He's always kind of been that like X outside receiver. He's not like if Wandell got hurt, I wouldn't expect Slayton to fill in for him greatly. I just think Slayton is that outside receiver that's big plays. Maybe you get lucky.
But I mean, how many Dart had 111 passing yards, right? So it's like, it's a totally different offense. So
weekend.
But yeah, no, I'm sorry, Slayton. Okay, Jason, anything else? So maybe we'll go back to Thursday.
We can go back Thursday now. That was it.
Okay, cool. So I mean, this game is pretty messy, right? Like Rams, I think the spread keeps moving. Or would you guys start Stafford? Like, is this a game to start Stafford with such a big spread?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, I think he's up there.
Okay. What about for obviously Kyron Williams? So what about the running back? Seems like they're finally not doing the bell cow, right? Blake Corum, I think, had a career high in catches and like rushes, or at least targets. Is Corum like in a deeper league a flex play? Because maybe if it's a blowout, he's getting runs late.
I mean, Kyron Williams still had 50% of the rushes and 10% target share. Yeah, Corum was up to almost 35 and 10%. So who'd they play last week?
Colts.
Okay. I mean, I think you can. I'm not trusting him to have that much work, Corum, but I think he could be around a 25% target share or 25% rush share with like a 5% target, which isn't terrible, but I think you can find better.
Okay.
He's still just he's just a premium handcuff.
Okay. So guys, anyway, if you're watching on Twitter, jump over to YouTube, right? Give us some questions. So I only got one here in the hopper, so we love answering questions. Make sure you give us a like, a subscribe. So I just got the one from Diesel Duke for now. Mahomes or Goff? I mean, is Mahomes back? Or is it just playing Baltimore, right? Worthy played. Worthy looked good. I think we said to sit him because we didn't think he'd do that much, but he was great. And now we get Rashee Rice back in 2 weeks. So is that offense about to go off? But and Detroit's playing
Cincinnati.
Detroit has Cincy, right? So
hard to argue against Goff this weekend.
Yeah, but I always just think like they're gonna put up 30 in the first half and then just run the ball.
It's probably gonna be a good fantasy day. It's like a 20 to 25 point fantasy day.
Yeah, no, for sure. Brian, who do you have higher, Mahomes or Goff?
I have Mahomes pretty clearly, like almost 4 to 5 points, but I just don't. I think Mahomes with his passing volume and he's been running it more. I just think he's safer. I do think Goff might, I think that game might lead more towards like a David Montgomery, just run out the clock game. And I think David Montgomery, I would if you have him and you're hesitant on starting him just because he's an RB2 on his team, I think he's a pretty solid start this week.
Yeah, that goes to my thinking, right? Like they're going to start running it up. Since he's just awful, you're going to get great field position. Yeah, Montgomery probably 15 rushes, maybe 100 all-purpose yards. Maybe he scores twice. So Is Montgomery the highest RB2 that you would have? I guess other than like a Dowdle taking over because Hubbard gets hurt.
Yeah, Montgomery could be if Gibbs got hurt, Montgomery's an RB1.
No, I mean this game that you'd start, the highest RB2 that you would start, right? You said you like Ollie Gordon. We all kind of like Sharps. Who else is even in that ballpark?
I mean, Justice Hill's kind of your safety one where he's going to get you your 6 to 10 points and you just have to accept it, which at the end of the day, that's pretty good for a backup running back. Trying to think who else.
Like the Pats would probably starting Ramondre and then got maybe Travion.
Yeah, it just depends how you value them. potentially like Sean Tucker and Michael Carter.
Yeah.
If they get touchdowns, you just don't know. But I mean, Montgomery's the guy for RB2s.
Okay. So, Jason, do you guys have any chance in this game? I assume the spread just keeps moving. But
spread's 8.5 right now, and you know what? Crazier things.
Let me finish. Go ahead.
Crazier things have happened in, especially in the Niners-Rams kind of series. A few years ago, the Niners were facing kind of the same thing, and they ended up in LA down like everybody and won the game.
Okay, yeah. I mean, divisional rivals. What was it before? Did McVay own Shanahan, or Shanahan owned McVay, and then it kind of flipped?
It's usually been Shanahan getting McVay the last few years, but yeah, McVay's obviously gotten him the last few times, and obviously McVay has the playoff win, which is the ultimate scoreboard call. So,
okay, so let's get into actually, a couple more questions, then we'll get to your props here. Arthur, because Arthur's the man. Cirillo. So, Corum and DeMarcado, 0.25 PPC. Is that PPR? Points per catch?
Points per carry.
Points per carry, obviously. Okay. Would that even factor into this? Because they're both going to be about the same, I'd say, carries. Maybe they each have 8, right?
If Jason talks first, I can kind of do the little back of the napkin math.
I was actually going to go DeMarcado here, just a guy who's, either a true starter or true 1A for sure. I'm going DeMarcado to play it safe here.
Okay, Arizona, Tennessee, that's a nice matchup. Niners Rusty, I know it's historically been great. Last year it was bad. How's it been this year?
It's been bad. They've been getting shredded on the ground, and again, it doesn't help that your best defensive lineman's out. ETN got him for a 48 or 50 yard touchdown last week as well. They're gonna have to go away from their typical formula a little bit, and being where they just want to send 4 and expect the front 4 to get home. They're gonna need to blitz more now, and really help offset that defensive line issue.
Okay, because so Arthur says leaning Corum since it's gonna be a blowout. Who knows about the Cardinal split? That's kind of where I was leaning, because I always try and think game script, but then I feel like I'm wrong half the time. Like I'll think shootout, then it's a running game, so you can't really play that game all the time. But Brian, where do you have? Because if it's a 9-point spread and they cover that easily, Corum is going to get a lot of that late third quarter, fourth quarter usage when they're going to be running the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I currently have DeMarcado like significantly higher, and then even carries numbers, I have DeMarcado at almost 11 and Corum around like 9. So I just think it's DeMarcado is going to get more volume, and okay, it's points per carry, but is there no points per catch either? Like, is there no points per reception? Because DeMarcado is going to kind of blow him out the water there. If we're just thinking who gets more carries, maybe Corum might get more carries just based off game script, but everything else involved in fantasy, we're not just talking about carries. So I think it's pretty clearly DeMarcado.
Clearly DeMarcado. Okay, man. Arthur, I was with you, but trust me, use the model. I've learned, I've been burned, and I'll probably get burned again, but not today. So Jason, you said you're DeMarcado too. Yeah. Okay. So I'd say like it's probably like one of those things like 8 out of 10 times DeMarcado has more, but that 2 of the 10 that Corum, he might get 80 yards and like 2 touchdowns if it's a blowout. You could get one early than get one late, right? So but yeah, but the thing, who's better? Who do you think's just a better player, Corum or DeMarcado? We've just not seen enough from DeMarcado or Corum. Because Jason, you're more of a college guy.
Yeah, I would say Corum's a better running back for sure than DeMarcado. Corum was an absolute stud in Michigan, and if he could honestly start for a few teams in this league. I don't think DeMarcado.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's clearly a better runner. I don't know about pass game work. I haven't really seen much from Corum in the passing game, and I don't think Michigan really used him that much either. So
Michigan didn't really pass when he was there.
Yeah.
Okay, Arthur, I'll get to you, but you don't get to move. You don't get to do the follow-up, the chat and cut, and then move to the front of the line. But there's not that many questions, so we'll be good. All right, Dino, trade Tet for Judkins. I need a third running back. It's half PPR. I mean, I love me some Tet. I think this is tough because like Judkins. Did I say Tet? I meant Judkins. Judkins is a stud, but that Cleveland offense sucks. Now they got Dylan Gabriel. We didn't talk about him starting, but it was an injury. But Judkins is going to get yards, but he's going to get touchdowns because if they only get 10 points a game, what's the touchdown opportunity? Same thing with Tet. Bryce kind of sucks. I thought he'd be good. He's not. Maybe he peaks later. This is two really good players on bad offenses. Brian, where do you go?
I think I'm actually leading Judkins here. I just think running backs are harder to come by. We keep seeing all these running backs getting hurt. I think
wide receivers or running, both are getting hurt.
I think running back, but like one running back is normally on the field at a time. You can get like 3 receivers on the field. I just think getting a running back with volume that you're comfortable playing is way harder to find than a receiver that you're comfortable playing. Like it's ugly, but I could pick up Kayshon Boutte and know he's at least getting some targets in a game. You know, like you can't do that. You can't do that with a running back. You're not going to be able to pick someone up like that and be comfortable that they'll at least be in the game. So at this point in the fantasy season, I do tend to value my running backs in season long quite a bit more. If I'm kind of taking a cop out saying they're pretty even just from value, but like for a wide receiver running back, I just value that running back more. So I would do Judkins.
Okay, Jason?
I completely agree. I would trade the receiver for the running back, especially with Ted's situation, with Bryce Young starting to struggle again and just so much uncertainty there. Take the guy who's getting the guaranteed touches. And Judkins is playing really well. Like he had another 19-point week last week. So I would absolutely take Judkins in this case.
I love me some Judkins, but what if I short-term schedule? Carolina's playing Miami and Dallas. So it's like if that's, that's just nice but yeah, the Cleveland schedule is going to ease up too because it's been terrible. But okay, let's say you guys like Judkins. What if Ted had a better QB? If Ted was on Dallas without if CeeDee Lamb for Ted they traded, would we take Ted with the better passing offense?
I mean, sure. That's like me saying in my golf game, if I could hit the ball straight, I'd be good at golf. Like, sure.
Okay, fine. Mock my hypothetical. Sorry, TR, moving on. Thomas Farrell, double dog. All right, so you get a double time on your questions. That's how it works. Would you start Michael Carter or Rashid Shaheed in 10-team PPR? What happened to your team that you have to start one of these guys in a 10-team? Oh, my God. Did the dog eat your roster? What do we do, Jason? What do you do? This is crazy for a 10-team.
Yeah, it is crazy for a 10-team, but I got to go Shaheed here. You have a guy who's a guaranteed wide receiver too, and you don't know what Arizona has. You don't know what Drew Pensig and Arizona have planned for the timeshare between him and DiMercado. So I'm gonna take Shaheed in the upside here.
Okay, yeah, playing the Giants, it's a nice spot. Brian, what about you? I mean, Carter's a bit of a mystery box. Maybe he's good, right?
I mean, I think you have to go Shaheed. I'm just trying to think of like other players you could potentially just pick up and be better. Like if Woody Marks is available, just start him right away. Okay, 12 team.
12 team. Okay, 12 team. Thank God. Since that was 10 team, I was really worried about you would have been screwed. 12 teams better. That makes more sense. Okay, sorry. So like Shaheed?
I think Shaheed. I just think Carter, I don't think is going to blow you away. The only way I think he blows you away is if he gets 2 goal line touchdowns just randomly. Shaheed, I think, just has a higher upside and could, if you're down this bad, like you probably need the upside. No offense.
He's got higher upside? How does he have higher upside? When Michael Carter's unlimited upside. If he's getting all the carries, they're a running team. They're playing a bad defense. I mean, I'm not saying I would take Carter, but what's Shaheed going to do? That same team plays
60-yard touchdown, just one 60-yard touchdown. That's 12 points, and that's probably double.
Do they have a 60-yard? Do they have one 60-yard touchdown in the season? Do they have a 40? Do they have a 30-yard touchdown in the season?
They're playing the Giants.
Okay. I bench Brian. Okay. What? Thomas, give us a couple other players that are available in your league, and then because I bet we can do better. Okay, Arthur, we're back to you, my man. And guys, remember, hit us up if you're on Twitter. Come over to YouTube because not all the episodes are available on Twitter, and this way we can do questions. All right, yeah. Give us the questions. Okay, Jason, this is for you. So thanks. One more. If Debo's out, do I put in Woody, Michael, or Rashad? So Woody, Marks, Michael, who were just talking, Michael Carter, and Rashad White, assuming Bucky out.
I like Woody this weekend, man. That Baltimore defense has been ravaged, and they're banged up now too. Kyle Hamilton's hurt.
Really?
Yeah, Matabike is out for the year. They're missing some dudes. I think
Roquan's out and Marlon Humphrey's out.
They're hurt.
Jason, start stretching. You might be playing linebacker.
No, I got to play kickball tonight. I can't. I need 3 days. No, I guess I might, but that'll be enough time. So yeah, maybe me. Yeah, I actually really like Woody Marks this weekend.
Okay, Brian, just that matchup because Tampa's got a nice one too, don't they? Seattle. No, not a nice matchup. Okay, so a pure matchup. You like Woody, but you like let's say it was switched and Tampa was playing Baltimore. You'd like Rashad?
I don't even know if pure matchup. Like I have them both ranked as running back 2s this week. Woody is a bit lower than Rashad. I just think Rashad is a bit safer, and like Woody did it 1 week. I'm not saying. I mean, he has kind of consistently just gone up in his touches. I trust Woody more in a game that I think is going to be closer. This game in Baltimore just scares me. It's either going to be like a AFC North battle, even though they're not AFC North, where it's like 13-10, or it's going to be just a blowout Houston. And either one, there's not much touchdowns. And I think blowout kind of leans more Chubb's direction of just let's pound this hurt defense, and then there's not as many kind of drop-offs. I have Rachaad White like 1.5 above Woody. I think they're both solid options. Like I think you can start them both.
Okay, so Jason, where did Woody go to college? Because people liked him. It's just the O-line is so bad, right? And they just can't move the ball. They just shut out Tennessee, but who doesn't do that?
Yeah, Tennessee is obviously.
So where would he go to college?
He started at Mississippi State and finished at USC.
I love you. You always know this. Okay, so where do you have Woody in the rookie running backs right now? Right, obviously we got Genty, we got Hampton. Would you have him over Travion?
No.
Okay.
I put him probably right now, just going off the top of my head. So yeah, obviously Genty, Hampton, Travion. You got to have Scatterbo 4th at this point.
Well, Woody just had 2 touchdowns, so.
Are we talking like this week or rest of the season?
But I don't know, both combo, whatever. Why, Brian? Are we missing somebody?
No, I just don't think Travion's that good this week. I think rest of the season I get it. I just don't see it this week. There's still way too many people getting touches in that backfield.
But that Bills defense is like really not that great, right? You can run on them. I feel like they always give up the big breakthrough run. I think it kind of sets up nice for Henderson, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
But this week, yeah, Woody, just the Baltimore matchup alone with the defensive injuries. Yeah, you got to love
Hampton and Scatterbo, I think, are pretty clear 1-2.
Over Genty?
Yeah.
Last this 2 games were good.
Who are the Raiders playing?
Indy.
Indy. So you have them clearly above Genty, who just had 3 touchdowns?
I mean, I have Hampton at running back 2 overall, and I have Scatterbo at 8 or not 9. Genty's all the way down at 21.
Wow. Okay, well, let's talk why. I mean, I get it. He's had the 1 good game, but I mean, Joe Alt was out. That's got to affect Hampton, right? That's got to affect the O-line.
I mean, they're projected 20 points.
Okay.
And that's like I'm still giving him a great rushing share, and he's not that involved in the pass game. He's like 8 to 10%. Or 6% on the season. I've increased it a little bit, so I'm trying to give him more, and it's still just not it's not coming out.
Okay, wow. Any other rookie running backs we're forgetting that we should be talking about? Because they struggled for 2 weeks, but then last week it was just they broke out. Right? If you were playing against Genty or Hampton, you probably lost.
I mean, I have Judkins above Genty.
Oh, Judkins.
Marks I have Genty at 4, Marks at 5, and then Travion at 6, and then Krosky Merritt at 7.
Oh, Krosky Merritt. Okay. So back to Tom and here we go. Sorry, somebody dropped Devontae Smith. Oh, this is a pure Brian question. I lost Neighbors and Pickens is my only startable wide receiver. Wow. I don't know. I did the wide receiver rankings. I had Devontae Smith. I don't know, 38, 43. I said you can't play him. Brian, are you picking up Devontae Smith? Playing the long game?
What kind of league are we in? Like, Devontae Smith is rosterable in a 10-team league.
Okay.
If you're in an 8-team league, then no. I think.
There's no 18 to 12. Just assume everything's a 12-team league.
I'm going to go 10 to 12, but yeah. Yeah, I would put a good amount on him. Like, what player's going to give you more upside?
Yeah,
What if
I
AJ
guess.
Brown throws more of a fit? Then he's wide receiver 1 by a lot, and they trade him. Like, AJ Brown's still getting 30% of
Don't
the
ask a
target.
Philly fan. Okay, Jason, what would you do? Would you pick him up, and would you even start him? I know he said I would maybe try and pick him up, but then not start him and like wait.
If Pickens is your only startable receiver, unless you're in a 1-receiver league, I'm picking him up and starting him. Like, there's still too much upside there. Like, eventually the Eagles are going to have to throw the ball, and it's going to have something that's going to have to be a part of their game at some point. And Smith will have those games where he pops for 4 for 75 and a tutty. So, you gotta.
Is this the kind of week you like that? They're playing Denver. Denver's got a great defense, right? They got Surtain. So Surtain and AJ, you could play that game. Plus Denver is also a really good team. So I'd have to see the rush pass splits on defense. But
he said he just picked up Slayton and Bond, and he's in a 12-team league. 12-team league, I'm spending a lot on Devonta.
A lot. Okay. So what? So let's say you got 100. What? 65?
Yep. 80.
Oh wow. Just okay. I mean, right. This is why we play fantasy, right? We get stuck in the moment. What did he do last week? 4 weeks from now, something crazy could happen, and then Hurts is passing for 220 again, and Devontae's killing it, right? Exactly. So trust the talent. Trust the talent. Trust the talent. Okay, man. All right, Joris VL. Unload the clip.
I was saying, remember how down we were on Drake London last week? We just needed him to pop off, and then he finally popped off.
Oh, I was so happy.
It was great.
Yahoo alert go off. It's like Drake London. Oh my God. Thank God. All right, Thomas Farrell. So this is the guy we were saying what is on his league in the bench. So Trey Tucker.
It was Michael Carter and Rashid Shaheed.
So yeah, I mean, I guess how do we feel about Trey Tucker? Because I think he's like wide receiver 12 in the season, but a lot of that's from his 3 touchdown game.
I think Rachaad White's the clear start over all these people.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, assuming Bucky's out, which I kind of am. If Bucky's not out, then I think Trey Tucker has some pretty good peripherals. Otherwise, Darius Slayton, I think, is a solid choice.
And then we got the wire. I mean, don't you have to pick up Rico Dowdle? Because if it's Jason, would you say Chuba's trending not to play?
Chuba is definitely trending not to play. Two straight days of no practice is not a good sign. So yeah, Dowdle is also very startable against that Dolphins defense.
Oh God.
Yeah, so, like if you're not playing Kendrick Bourne this week, just drop him for one of those guys.
Brian, where would you move Dowdle up if Chuba was out? Like, would you play him over both Arizona guys? Anyone on Washington?
I mean, I just kind of swap him out for my Chuba ranking, and right now Chuba is at like 1 behind Rachaad White at running back 18.
Okay, so okay. So yeah, we were right to question your original. What was it, Shaheed or Michael Carter? You can do better.
Yeah, I think Rachaad White is the guy. If you're really scared about Bucky, then I would think. I mean, you're gonna have to wait. What time is Dowdle's game?
They're early, 1 Eastern.
So I mean, you can pick him up, and if he's the starter, you put him in right away, and then just don't even worry about Bucky. If not, then I would take the chance that Bucky's out and play Rachaad White.
Yeah, and I'd say what percentage would you say Bucky's out, Jason? Like 85?
Yeah, I would say it's 85 to 90 at this point.
Oh yeah, we don't know he's out and it's 4:00, but I think we can say if you're on crutches, I mean, and they have a competent backup, I don't think there's a point to risk it. So Joris says it's a 12-team half PPR, picked up Slayton and Bond. I'd have no confidence in Bond. I really do like Slayton, but Devontae, we're still Devontae, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 100%. Okay, cool. So we got 45 minutes. We'll go for about 10 more minutes. Anyone got anything? I was going to do props. Oh, props! Right there we go, Jason. What on earth could you bet on? In my preview, I said CMC receptions and Puka yards because that's the only thing we can lock.
That is actually, now that you mentioned Puka yards, I'm really glad that you mentioned that because I do have a Puka yard prop. I have Puka 110 plus receiving yards tonight, plus 147.
I like that. That's a good alt. What was you had the crazy alts for Kyler last week.
Yeah, they weren't alts. They were just straight up lines that I found on DraftKings.
They felt like alts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that one. I have Kyron Williams.
Well, no, let's stay on that. We got some time. Brian,
Okay.
what do you have Puka yards at? Because I think his worst game is 95 yards.
I have him pretty high.
Because so Jason, I think because the Niners, you're like the third best to opposing wide receivers. It's such a weird defense.
Well, I have him at 90, almost 99 yards.
Okay.
About 10 receptions. So that right there is 19 points and like 0.6 touchdowns. So that adds
Jason,
up to 24-ish.
Why'd you settle the 110? I guess your buddy gave it to you, but like how high? Like I guess you have in front of you, but alt 150 because like I remember sometime when Jamar Chase would have a bad game and then Higgins be out, I would do the alt 150 2 touchdowns, and it's the most fun bet in the entire world.
Yeah, this is actually not an alt line. I didn't get this from my buddies. Like I said, I use this off DraftKings. I do my research there this season for these. Last couple of weeks paid off a little bit. I saw Puka's original line at 100 plus. And I was just kind of fumbling. I was kind of toiling through to see what 110 was, and I actually like the value at plus 147.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, what's the difference? His line's like 96. You know,
and his money for 100.
So okay, so what's the game script then? Like maybe he goes off early, catches a 40-yarder in the first. Maybe what San Fran hangs around because I keep hearing the special teams are bad.
Oh, their special teams are awful. They can't cover a kick to save their lives. Kick or punt. I just feel like he's the guy. Devontae Adams has attention on him now as well. He gets a lot of stuff between the tens. He's always seen the plays. He's always played well against us too in his first couple years. So I think he's going to have a big game.
Puka City. Okay. What else you got?
Kyron Williams, 40 plus first half rush yards, plus 129.
Okay. I see that. Okay. What goes into that? Do you like to? Because you obviously want the ball first with that, right?
I mean, he could still just break one. Travis Etienne covered that in one play against the Niners on Sunday.
Wow. Okay.
What goes into it for me is I'm pretty much always looking for plus money bets for people. Obviously, you want to get the best value, and those were like the best value plays that I saw for this one was first half rush yards.
So Niners been bad. So Jacksonville killed them. They've played. Who else have they played this season?
The Saints, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals.
Was that okay? Seahawks.
You're bragging about being 3-1.
Sorry.
So then you're bragging about being 3-1.
Seattle's great. I think Seattle's really good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they gave up yards, they gave up points, and now in those 3 games they didn't have their best. The Niners had their best pass rusher in those in those first 2 games. They don't have them anymore. It changes a lot. One of those few pass rushers who changes an entire game, whether even without getting a sack.
So what do you think the San Fran plan on offense is going to be? Like, obviously, like, is it CMC's touching the ball like every second play? Like, run him on first, pass on second, throw to him on third?
That's what it feels like. I mean, for a guy who had the injuries he had last year, Kyle Shanahan thinks he's still 24 and in his prime.
Yeah, because I think he's in a little different phase of his career, right? Because he doesn't have a rushing touchdown. He doesn't have more than 70 rushing yards in a game. Like he's clearly a little different, even though they are using him a little differently.
They're using him a little differently, but they're also feeding him the exact same. Like he's still getting the same touches he got when he was coming into the league, and when he was really at his peak. Like 30 touches a game. It's crazy.
So one of my favorite fantasy things to do is when you got the isolated games, you pick up a backup in case the starter gets hurt. So like if Brian Thomas Jr. was available, would you pick him up no matter what? Because if CMC doesn't get hurt, then you can drop him, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of B-Rob,
Monday.
Yeah, I do also have a B-Rob prop tonight. Speaking of which, 40 plus rush yards, plus 407.
Okay, so how does that work? How many carries is he getting a game?
He hasn't been getting many, but it might be time to get a few more tonight. And by a few more, I mean a lot more.
Why? Okay, because what they're going to try and run. Rams, I think, are pretty good against the run.
They are, but they need to control the ball. The Niners, if they have any hope of even being in the game tonight, you've got to take the air out of the ball. You got to win ugly. you have to limit the amount of possessions the Rams get.
Okay, so pound. Okay. Do they ever use both at the same time? Because that would hurt Brian's use check. It's not like they're going to have. Would that be a 31 personnel or would that be 13?
That'd be
31.
2 running backs, 2 tight ends. Maybe.
No. 2 running backs and a fullback.
Well, they haven't used them yet. I'm hoping for it. It's something I've asked for and wished for as a fan.
Okay, what else you got? We'll wrap this up. We got the questions of slow down.
Last one was CMC 10 plus first quarter receiving yards plus 105.
Okay, that's great. Gee, I mean, that's one play. That could be the first play of the game.
Yeah, nice little dump off screen and just take it 15 for a first and cover that and make your night.
So 10 plus receiving yards plus 105.
10 plus first quarter receiving yards.
Yeah, first quarter. That's odd. That seems too. That's such a great bet. Oh my God, Brian, would you play that straight up, or would you do like the great Adam Sandler where you do a parlay, but if you don't hit that in the first quarter, you're screwed?
That's beyond my level of expertise, so I can't really help you on that one.
I hate the first quarter ones just because you just don't know if anyone's. What if they do a 3 and out and somebody has the ball for 12 minutes? I just don't like losing that early on my bets, I guess, is the other thing. I at least want some hope at the end. But if you want to go to bed early, it's a great option for your East Coast people.
Yeah, that's true. The first quarter, I like that. CMC to get 10 yards in every quarter, that'd be fun too. You're just hoping they stay around. Just like that'd probably be would that be plus 300? 400?
I mean, it'd be more than that if you have a few plus bets that you're combining, then it's more than that. But
yeah, no, I just meant CMC plus 10 yards in every quarter, just as standalone.
Oh yeah, I mean you just have plus. So it's the same each time.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus 110 or whatever it is. Yeah, I mean CMC's anytime was only minus 110, so it's just that I didn't think was too bad. One that I thought was fun and could, if you just really want a long shot, was Mac Jones anytime. Just you don't have anyone to throw it to. Maybe he runs 5 miles an hour into the end zone one time.
And that was what, 12-1?
That was 13-1.
What about first? It seems like the first touchdowns have been really random on these standalone games. So it's like
I'm not doing that, but
Davis Allen.
I could see what it is.
Okay. All right, we're running out of steam here. So we're gonna wrap it up. So guys, make sure to jump over to YouTube. Make sure to check out Brian's model. Pray for CMC and Jason's Niners. Anyone have any last words, last hopes, last prayers?
Plus 5,000.
Plus 5,000.
First touchdown.
Jesus, I would if I could, I'd bet $5 on that right now. And I'd be right with you, Jason. First quarter, 10-yard CMC reception, tackled at the 1, Mac QB sneak. We all win.
Yeah, exactly. Get everybody paid.
Making millionaires out here.
All right. Thanks, everyone. So make sure to check us out Sunday for a morning show. Maybe Jason Brown make a surprise appearance. You never know. We'll be doing more questions. We'll have lots of news because there's probably going to be some injuries tonight. And then make sure to check the blurb feed because we're always up to date. Cool. All right. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Brian. That is it for us this Thursday. Boom.